Hi guys, as you know, I'm a pro windsurfer for almost 40 years. Wow, that's long. That's really long. And I am a big fan of Starboards, and not because these are the boards of the Star, but because of the quality of the exceptional design. I believe the best in the world. And also Starboard's dedication to CO2 emissions and planting trees. This is unbelievable. They spend millions on planting trees, and every board that you buy is actually planting 10 mangrove trees in Myanmar, which is great. So you can buy as many of them as you want and your conscience is clear. The environment is being taken care of. So this is good. But this video is not about environment. This video is about the choice of boards, because the season is upon us and we have to decide if we want to switch for the new 2024 iSonics, and if we want to do it, which boards to choose, because the lineup is huge. The boards that I'm using start from iSonic 60, which is a tiny board, less than 90 liters volume, and ends on iSonic 85, which is a huge board with 140 liters volume. So there is a lot to choose from, and every board costs. So we have to choose wisely not to waste money. And I believe that having 1 or 2 boards is always better than having 5 or 6 boards, because you enjoy the sport much more when you have less gear. So let's get down to it, because I want you to realize that all the boards in Starboard are not the same. It's not like the small board is just a smaller volume and the big board is bigger volume. These boards are completely different products. They're designed in a different way, for different conditions, for different riders, and for different, which is the most important, for different riding style. So the whole lineup of Starboards, of iSonic Starboards, you can divide into 2 separate groups. One group is iSonics with a lot of control, very safe and low ride, and the second group is the iSonics with a lot of tail walking, riding very high above the water. You can say that you're using only the very tail of the board. And this is very different riding style, which requires different setup of the gear and also requires different fins. To clear your head up, so you have an easier choice when buying a new Starboard, I will tell you first about the boards that are riding high. These are the iSonic 60, iSonic 67, iSonic 77 and iSonic 85. These boards ride extremely high, they're very free, they're very easy to get planing, and you have a feeling like you are riding on much smaller board, even though the volume is high. And these boards accommodate all the fins on the market. You can use a Carpenter, Chopper, Z-fin. These fins are working well. Of course, my fins are working well too on those boards. But if you want to choose the other group, which is iSonic 63 and iSonic 73, these boards are designed for control. These boards are designed for conditions like Fuerteventura, where you have a lot of chop, where the wind is gusty and strong, and you want to make sure that you're safe, that you're not going to be blown away. And these boards, they're not working really well with the standard fins like Chopper, Carpenter and Z-fin, because the ride is extremely low. And these fins, they keep the nose down of the board. So it's gonna be hard to use those fins, but you can be sure that those 2 boards are extremely safe because they ride really flat. It doesn't mean that these boards are slower, because the speed of all iSonics is the same. Only the riding style is different, because the flat riding board is riding very flat. Sometimes you catch a little bit the nose, but when the gust hits, the board accelerates, which is very fast. And on the contrary, when you are riding the high riding board, like the boards from the first group, then when the gust hits, there is a danger that the board will fly away. So you have to be aware of it, because it's just completely different style of riding and setup. So when choosing an iSonic, it's not like every board is the same. If you are extremely heavy guy, and if you like to have a lot of power under your foot, then you definitely should go for the board that is riding high. This is the iSonic 60, 67, 77 and 85. These boards are riding super high. You don't catch the nose at all. But if you're a lighter guy and you're afraid of control and sometimes when there is too much wind, you're a little bit afraid that the board will fly away, then definitely go for the iSonic 63 and 73. So we have completely two different groups. And now, for 2024, Starboard introduced the new old technology. It's not old, it's actually very new technology because it's improved. The wood technology. I love these boards. I think they look absolutely stunning, and I chose this technology for me for 2024. They look beautiful. Also, years ago, I used to ride this kind of Starboards, and I was winning world championships on them. And I know that they're strong, durable, and beautiful. And what I noticed is that iSonic wood is much stiffer than last year's carbon edition. So it's a big improvement, and also the lower weight, which is nice, which is always nice. But the feeling of the ride is much stiffer on iSonic wood 2024 than iSonic Carbon 2023. So there is a huge improvement there. So now we know how the boards are ridden, but one also very important information is that because every Starboard, every model is designed separately as a separate product, like the iSonic 73 is an evolution of the iSonic 73 from past seasons. iSonic 63 is an evolution of iSonic 63 from past seasons. They are not interconnected with each other, like size-wise. So iSonic 63 is not the same product like iSonic 67. They're different family line, you can say. And said that, every board trims the footstrap position in different way. So on iSonic 77, for example, you need to use your footstraps almost all the way forward. On contrary, on iSonic 73, you need to use your footstraps all the way back. So this is something we need to check and trim by ourselves, but it's not universal for all the iSonics. And one more super nice touch from the Starboard is that this year, all iSonics come with the beautiful light blue cover bag, which is great for using in the car when you're driving to the spot, because this bag is super light, but it's protecting the board from scratches, which is great. But this is not everything I wanted to tell you. In the beginning of the video, I said that I think it's much better to have less gear than more. And I believe it 100%. And every season, I'm ordering all the Starboards, all the iSonics in the lineup, in both technologies, to try them, to test them, because, you know, sometimes I take part in the prototyping process around the world, but the product, the serial production boards, this is something that I'm the most interested in, and that's why I always test all the boards. But in the end, I choose only 2 or 3 boards for the season. And this year, I'm testing something extremely radical, which means I want to use only 1 board for all of my sails, and I want to use it for super light wind conditions up to super strong wind conditions. And this is such a challenge that I made for me. And I was testing all the boards on the lineup, and for now, the winner of 2024 boards for me is the iSonic 67, which is extremely nice in the light wind because it's planing in super light wind conditions, but it's also very controllable and fast in super strong winds because I used it in over 40 knots with 6.5 and it's working. And there is one trick, there is one secret to achieve a wide wind range of the board without changing a board. So first thing, you need to have sails. I'm using the 8.5 Severin Mach 6, which is marvelous as a light wind sail. And then I'm skipping, completely skipping the 7.5 because the 6.5 has such a huge wind range that it's actually overlapping with 8.5. So in light wind conditions up to 20-25 knots, I'm on the 8.5. Then I'm jumping on the 6.5, and the 6.5 I can hold up to 45 knots easily. So this is great. So I'm having only 2 sails. Of course, I have also other sails, but I'm using only 2 sails as a challenge, and I'm riding them on the iSonic 67 But to make it possible and to make it feasible, I use different fins. And now, my favorite fin for the iSonic 67 is of course, is my fin, is the 34, because it rides super nice in light winds, but it's also super controllable in stronger winds. So I use this fin up to 30 knots gusts, which is great. And this is just like in perfect balance on the board. The meaning, you know, the feeling is that I have a perfect pressure point under the back foot, and it's just marvelous. So I love this fin, and I tried every size. But if there is a stronger wind, I'm jumping lower to 32 and sometimes even 29. So this board works also great on 29. But just today, I was windsurfing in super gusty and super light conditions on this board and on 8.5. And to increase my wind range, I used this big baby, and this is 43 fin on iSonic 67 with 8.5 Mach 6 sail. It's unbelievable, you know, because in the gusts, we had gusts maybe up to 18, 19 knots. In the gust, I was still easily controlling it, but in the holes, I was gliding. And what was the funniest was that there was a lot of guys on the foil on the lake, and they were foiling and they were trying to catch me, you know, on the slalom foils, which are fast. And they were trying to catch me, and they couldn't, because I had such a long fin that I was riding upwind, downwind, all directions, and in the holes I was pulling through, which is amazing for the normal fin board. And they were sure that in the holes I will be stopping, and I was not. So this is the magic trick. Just use a super long, of course top quality, but super long fin on the small board, and this will make you plane early, glide through the holes, and you will feel great. So this is it, you know, for me, iSonic 67 with 8.5, it's wonderful. So this is my favorite setup for now. 2 sails, 1 board, and 3, maximum 4 fins, and this is it. Not a lot of, you know, gear in my car, a lot of joy on the water, and I can use it in super light and super strong wind. Okay, that's it. I hope you enjoyed my tech talk, and now I will invite you for some spin on the lake, and my local lake. It was not so windy, but we caught some gusts, so I hope you will enjoy it. And I hope to see you next time, sooner than this time. See you on the water.